Guess what? It's hashtag AskLauren. It's another Friday, which means you ask me questions, I give you answers. This time, I'm just branding this a little bit differently. This one is for all of you students out there. If you're in high school, college, university, whatever. I get a lot of questions from you guys about, you're feeling nervous about being in school, you don't know what your purpose in life is, you don't know what to do when school ends, etc., etc. And I wanted to just address some of that today. And from this point forward, I'm actually going to do every so often more student life segments, because you guys ask me about eating vegan on a budget, just kind of like things that pertain to student living. And of course, I can be like your aspirational adult that you can be like, I want to be like Lauren. I went to high school, I went to college, I've done it all, I've learned along the way. So hopefully the information that I share in these types of student life segments will help you out and make you feel a little bit better and more secure about what's going on in this very confusing time in your life when you are trying to get through school, trying to get good grades, trying to, be an adult, trying to do all these things. It's a lot of pressure, it's a lot of breakdowns, I'm sure, at times. So anyways, I can offer you some advice, I hope, at least some guidance, and reassurance, at least, to let you know that, it actually gets, does it get easier? Yes, it gets easier. I feel like nothing is as hard as that time when you just feel so unsure of everything. Not to say you're always gonna feel sure of everything going forward, because you're not. I still get very unsure of things. It gets better, as they say. So I have a few questions. I'm gonna lump them all together here because Lex Lemon asked me, or said, I'm having a lot of trouble deciding what to do for a career. I always think I have it figured out, and then eventually I start to feel not very passionate or motivated about my choice. What's your advice for figuring out your life path? Oh, Magda I don't know how to say your last name, I'm sorry. But Magda said, have you ever thought about your purpose and you get totally freaked out? Am I wasting my life? I get so stressed at school. What is the point? If what's the point of learning if it just stresses me out to the point where I have mental breakdowns 3 times a week? Depression is creeping in. I have no time to sleep. All this stuff because of schoolwork. Okay. And then Rakshar Khan said, can you talk about college life, how to step into your career? I'm about to graduate and I'm shy and have anxiety about the next steps. All kind of related. I'm in school, what the hell am I doing with my life and what comes next? And oh my God, I'm freaking out about the future. And this is so important right now, doing school, whether it's high school or college or university or whatever. It just feels like you have to succeed or else something bad happens. And what is success anyways? That's a whole other topic. But I hear you guys and I totally get that feeling. So here are a few tips and broad perspective things to keep in mind when you're in that super stressful, panicky, what am I doing with my life? Why am I in school? What is happening moment, okay? One thing to keep in mind is that those feelings of scared, nervous, stress, freak out are almost necessary in order for you to even grow and evolve. That feeling is what's almost guiding you to the next thing. It's like helping you decide what you like and what you don't like, and then helps you kind of move forward. Like, you need that fear, but then you need to not let the fear cripple you. You need to push through the fear and do it anyway. I have to say, I'm scared all of the time. I've realized even recently, and I'm in my early 30s, that I'm maybe even more scared now than I used to be. But I always have this thing that lets me just say, F it, and I do it anyways. It's like when you want to say no, you want to say no, and you say yes. Now that's not going against your gut intuition, that's not what I'm talking about. It's deep down that you need to be doing these things, or that this particular study is important to you, or that going to this event is important to you, but you're scared to do it. So you could just cower and shy away and be like, I'm not going to do it. So it is a little bit about taking these risks, pushing through some fear. You're always going to be scared. Doesn't matter. You're going to be 30, you're going to be 40, you're going to be 50. I'm going to be those ages. I'm still going to be scared of doing things. But because you are a master and commander of your own life, you are going to push through it and you're going to do it anyway. And you're going to be scared along the way and you might fuck up something. And it's fine. I think the older I get, the more I learn that it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter what happens. Everything that happens, ultimately, it's for good. It is. No matter how bad it may seem at the time. I told you, these are big picture things, but these are just things to remind yourself when you're having that moment, what should I do? I'm a big believer in doing what you love. So you're in school, let's say you're in high school, let's say you're in college. You know that there's something that you would love to do for a living. Oh, but you happen to be in the wrong course right now in school. That's okay, it's not the end of the world. Just because you're in school for zoology or I don't know, psychology, whatever it is you're doing. And you think, well, what am I going to do with this? You know, I didn't go to school for what I'm doing necessarily. I went to school for music industry business, but I didn't go to school for production and television and broadcasting and media and all this technical stuff that I'm doing now. It's all been self-taught. So it's not like do or die, end of the road decision making. Like you can always switch courses. That being said, there's obviously a reason you're in that course. There's probably something you like about it. There's probably something that you'll do in that course that will apply to the next thing. So try not to overthink it. The work that you're doing is all kind of baby steps leading up to like the bigger picture of what you'll do next. If there is something that you would love to get paid to do, just hold on to that thought and think about it often. This is like you don't even have to do anything. What I'm telling you to do isn't even painful. It's kind of like daydreaming. It's kind of like fantasizing. It's basically visualization, which I talk about a lot. But as it applies to you as a student, visualize the future you want. Who cares what's going on now? Who cares what's happening in your dorm and how annoying your roommate is? Who cares about the teacher in this boring class you don't like? Focus on what it is you would love to do and visualize it happening already in your mind, and feel it happening and see it happening and smell it happening and taste it happening, or whatever it is. That's what I did. I did that in high school. I did that in college. I did that when I left college and I was working in jobs that I didn't like. I still visualized myself on television, always, as a Much Music VJ, which is the job that I ended up getting, which was my dream job, and I made it happen. Mainly, I kid you not, by just visualizing it, because I didn't know how I was going to get from point A to point B. It's not really even point A to point B, it's basically point A to point G. I didn't know how I'd get through all the steps of how to get to be on television. I had no idea. But by keeping the picture of it and the feeling of it in my mind all along, and it made me know and believe that it was possible because I could see it all. I could feel like it was real. And it's really, really important to do that. And don't discredit the power of your mind, the power of your thoughts, the power of those intentions you're putting out there. Because what happens when you do that is all of these things start creeping in and attracting to you in the smallest ways, and you'll start to notice it the more you visualize. They say, 5-10 minutes a day. That's kind of what I was doing when I was younger, but I didn't read any books about visualization or the law of attraction when I was a kid. I was just doing it anyways. But I'm telling you now, in hindsight, it actually worked, and it is probably my number one thing, my number one piece of advice in terms of like making what you want happen, no matter how impossible it might seem. Just visualize it. Weirdly, you'll be like, oh, it's a weird coincidence, but these are not coincidences. These are little things being moved and being brought together, divine intervention, whatever you want to call it, to make that thought that you put out there happen, because it's a possibility and it can happen because you've managed to conjure up the whole idea in your mind. So it is possible, and it will happen if you believe and you trust and you do the visualization. It's almost the only thing you need to remember when you're going through a stressful time, and because you're students and you're trying to figure out life and you're trying to find the answers and you're trying to decide what's right for you and what the next big step is, and everything does seem like this do or die decision. It is not, and it's okay if you're overreacting and getting emotional and having mental breakdowns about it, but just believe in yourself, believe in what you're doing, believe in the steps you're taking, and on top of that, visualize what you actually want, despite what's going on right now in your life, despite where you are, despite sitting in the class or the school that you might not really want to be at. Doesn't matter how it's going to change, you're just going to visualize it changing. This is not to say that you can visualize and visualize all day long and do nothing else, like don't put in any work. You still have to apply some action. So by work, I mean action. So you can visualize this future that you want, this magical, amazing dream job that you want out of school. But now you have to like take some action. I don't mean like work hard, hustle crazy. Like having a good work ethic is a good quality. I have a good work ethic. It definitely helps me get great opportunities, keeps me self-motivated. Not everybody has good work ethic though. However, everybody can move and can be action oriented in some way. So it's basically like you need to do a certain amount of action and work, and something bigger will take care of the rest via the visualization. I mean, these are just steps of manifestation and law of attraction, but they actually are. When I do speeches at colleges and universities, this is now what I talk about, because I realized that like these were the major players in making my life happen the way it is now. And now people look at me and go, I want to do what she's doing, or I want to be successful like her. And it's like, these are actually the things that I did. These aren't like rules I'm making up and trying to sell. Like these are just things that I've noticed and have practiced and have picked up along the way after having done them. And now I have this language to kind of like explain what's happening. But I just kind of was doing these things all along when I was really young and didn't read spiritual guru books. I didn't know it, and now I just have this language, and other people and other successful people explain that this is what works. And I was like, oh, I was doing that all along. So it's that listening to yourself that's really important at the same time. So you're in school and you have all these people coming at you saying you have to do this and you have to do that and you have to do it this way and you have to do it that way and this is and parents and teachers. At the end of the day, you have to like listen to yourself, and it's that sort of inner voice that I often talk about that will guide you in the right direction. So if something feels wrong, feels iffy, feels sketchy, feels weird, feels blah, feels gross, it's probably not right for you. Sometimes you may still want to see whatever that thing is through to the end, but you'll know that it wasn't authentic for you, it wasn't true to yourself. So you have to listen to yourself, and you cannot listen to anybody else. You can't listen to teachers, you can't listen to your superior sometimes, because they're always just trying to put what they think and what they've experienced, and everyone thinks they're right all the time, onto what you're doing. And so that's why you kind of have to just go your own way. I feel like that's what I did. I feel like all the time when I was kind of told what to do or whatever, and I knew it didn't feel right and I wasn't listening to my instincts, the projects or whatever that is just never panned out. It always hit a dead end, because if I wasn't listening to myself, it wasn't going to work out. So yes, I'm trying to help you and guide you, but what I mean is, yeah, listen to me sort of, but also ultimately just listen to yourself. And if what I'm saying, you're just like, you're an idiot, don't listen to me, because that's obviously bound to happen. I'm not saying that everything that I relay to you and say to you is like the gospel, because it's not, but I'm just telling you my experience. But I fully expect you to take parts of this and apply them to yourself and kind of twist them and turn them and make them work for you. It doesn't mean that like everything I did is the right way or what you can do, because you're on your own path and your own journey, and it's going to be specific and custom and unique to what you're meant to do here. Listen to yourself, nobody else. Visualize, be scared and push through it. Put some work, some movement into action to make these visualizations happen. You can't just sit back now and go, I'm visualizing, that's all I need to do. It's most of what you need to do, but you also need to be action oriented. Put feelers out there. Take little baby steps. Send that email. Ask that question. Go to that networking event. Go to that thing that might make you feel uncomfortable, because you never know who you'll meet and what will happen. But follow those instincts of what feels good, and that's what I mean by putting things into action. You do have it kind of easy, and you have a lot of freedom when you're in school, and you have time to play around. It's really this time of self-discovery. So don't let it fly by and get too stressed out about the work and the paper and the tests, because at the end of the day, you have this great time in your life when you can experiment. And I don't mean sexually experiment. I mean like experiment with these sort of life rules, experiment with your time, and playing around with your career and your passions and stuff like that. You really do have a lot of freedom at that time in your life because you don't necessarily have all of the adult responsibility that you'll have in 10 years. What I'd like you to do though is let me know, if you are a student and you're watching, kind of what you'd like to see or what you'd like to see me talk about or show or whatever that relates to kind of the student life, student living, because you'll help shape what this series is, and I just kind of want to know what it is you want to know, and then I'll do it. Probably every couple weeks I will do a student life segment. Sometimes it could be Ask Lauren, sometimes it could be some other type of vlog, and like I said, eating on a budget, things like that, we will definitely cover. You guys are awesome. I can't even believe how many subscribers are here. I think we're at like 82,000. Which is insane because the list of hashtag Ask Lauren questions that I have like printed out that I refer to all the time, there's one on there that says like, can't wait till you hit 30,000. And it's like, that was only a few months ago, I'm sure. So it's so flipping crazy. So anyways, thanks for being here. Thank you for watching. Thanks for the love and support. And this series will be my true place to kind of like really give back to you and hopefully try to help and guide you in your life, since you're coming here every day and you're wanting to watch this content. I just want it to be like a positive experience for you, and I hope that you're getting something out of this that helps you in your daily life other than vegan stuff. I know that's very helpful too, but yeah, let's do this. I'm gonna link some videos at the end here that are related to what we talked about, so go watch and listen and give me your feedback, and you can always leave more hashtag Ask Lauren questions, student related or not, in the comments below. Just use the hashtag Ask Lauren, then I can search and find them. So I'll see you guys very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.